Welcome to the Smite Pro League, ladies and gentlemen. Gandhi joined by DM. It is Sunday, day 3 of week number 3 here. It's finally, we're actually past the halfway mark already.
That's right.
This
This is going to finish up week 3, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to see second place from World Championships. That's going to be Titan going up against the upcoming Stars. So a top seed kind of fighting the challengers here.
Yep. This is going to be a very tough one. In the second matchup of the day, we actually have Cloud9 taking on another matchup. So we get kind of a look at both of the World's teams in their different regions.
And what I love about this is like them fighting their descendants, right? It's like father and son almost. Like, oh, you guys are cognitive now.
I can't wait. I know it's going to happen so many times throughout the cast, though. I'm going to see Omega. I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, cognitive looking. Cloud9. Cloud9. Oh, it looks so good. But it is going to be interesting to see that. But looking at Titan, I think Titan is looking very strong throughout this season so far, even though it's still stuck in my head, the Thanatos ADC, which is a real problem for me.
Or Atarax.
Like, it's a serious problem for me. It changes my perception completely.
That's why him and Rafaron are not in the same team. Apparently, they got in a big fight on who was going to play Thanatos in the duo lane, and they broke up. What a shame. But no, I mean, these guys are incredible. Repicos, one of my favorite players in Europe. Repi and Comfrey were like single-handedly the reason, right, that Titan wound up at Worlds to begin with. I mean, their comeback, I mean, will forever be talked about in every time that we mention it. But they're going to be going up against the upcoming Stars today. Here, these guys are basically coming in from the bottom seed, and generally most of these guys are considered new, right? I mean, we know them. We've seen them a few times in the past from like previous weeklies, things like that. Most notably, in my opinion, Sausage. But they're definitely a newer roster.
He's the star of this team.
I agree.
No pun intended here. Sausage just looks really, really good every time we talk about him, which I'm starting to think we almost maybe favor solo laners, because every team is just, well, this guy's by far the best on the team. He just happens to play solo lane, right? But no, Sausage always looks really, really good consistently in every single game he's played. So I'm really...
To be fair, we love DVOs. Both of us are big fans.
Yeah.
But yesterday was like the Snoopy highlight reel.
And Boosh, right?
Oh, Boosh too. Those Krakens, man.
Who would have guessed? Shoes of the Magi on Poseidon would give you more damage.
I can't even believe it. I don't understand.
Who knows? But so Titan versus upcoming Stars here. DM, are we going to see anything crazy out of Titan? They're known for kind of throwing together weird comps.
It's hard to say, honestly, but aside from my opinion, I want to hear what everyone at home has to say, so make sure you guys are tweeting along with us, hashtag SPL, throw out, you know, at Smite Pro.
Yeah.
Who you're voting for.
Oh, always at Smite Pro. We, the big thing here as well, when you join this conversation, you need to know one thing. We're doing giveaways throughout the entire day, whether it's during the match, if it's on Twitter, whatever it is, there's a bunch of giveaways. We got some awesome skins that everyone should really have.
Yesterday we gave out a bunch of the Daisy Despairs and Madame Blades, which are like the 2 best skins in the game right now.
Well, I came into the chat and I was like, who wants an Xbox One code? And they were like, no, we play on the PC. I was like, all right, here's one. Come to me.
Picks and bans.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, it is time to hop into the picks and bans here. Guys, we will see what is going to happen. Titan, well, we know they love order side, that's for sure.
You can look at every single team profile, and it always looks like kind of there's like five different people, right? Titan looks like one unit. They're like Voltron.
Yeah. Actually, I was thinking boy band, more like Backstreet Boys. Or NSYNC.
Okay, I'll give them NSYNC. I'm not gonna let them get all the way to Backstreet Boys. That's crazy.
You rank. I'm not getting into this. Poseidon gets banned out. Thor's gonna be taken out as well. They don't want that to hit into the hands of Repicos, which I completely understand. Yeah. Option over here. Poseidon and then On Her gone. On Her very, very strong so far after the recent buff. His clear is insane.
This has to be Athena. Now, what we know from Kanye life is he loves Ares and Ymir, but Athena has been his go-to for a very long time. Athena being their primary pick during the Smite World Championships until Ares started taking the lead. Athena will be taken away indeed. Option here is going to be Titans, where they have their first pick. Few things on the board still available that are generally noted as very strong, including Agni and Sylvanus. Yep. Both ready to go here.
Sylvanus seems to be, okay. So they lock in Sylvanus, but Sylvanus right now seems to be arguably the best support, depending on who you're talking to, because everyone has their own personal preference. So some people may love the fact that Athena can be super aggressive. Other people, you know, kind of favor the laning phase a little bit more. So Sylvanus is huge in that.
early Xbalanque will dictate a pick of either Rama or Cupid, generally speaking, for Ataraxia. Artemis generally getting taken off the table. Ullr with not a great matchup, but still usable as well as Freya. Final pick here is going to be Scylla for upcoming stars in their first pick phase. Great matchup in the mid lane against pretty much anyone. Has a few things they might need to worry about, but with Poseidon off the table, she'll be able to escape quite cleanly. I'm a monster, of course, very quick to turn. The only issue here is that putting Xbalanque and Scylla on the same team during early game team fights tends to be a bit of a negative thing as opposed to chemistry, just because they're both fighting for the kill, and it could wind up forcing a scenario where they're both aiming at the same targets, whereas Agni, on the other hand, is just like, hey, here's some damage, team.
With Agni comes some of the best mid-harpy control you're going to look at in Smite, period. Really, and then you give him Batz. Now, Batz could be going into the solo lane. We see that happen in North America quite often. But for me, I'm pretty sure he's going to be going into the jungle here. And so when you look at this, you're looking at a perfect mid-harpy synergy here. DM, I mean, how is upcoming stars even going to answer this?
I would say Bastet. I mean, Bastet's still available, has somehow made it through the early phase, but it seems to me that North America favors Bastet a lot more than, or rather, Europe favors her, favors Thor a little bit more. You see Thor getting banned out early, Bastet getting the early picks and bans yesterday for North America. And with that, Bastet does get picked as we go back into the ban phase. A ban of Aphrodite, great pick here, as Confrey's Afro is likely the best professional Afro currently on the circuit.
I like how you threw in the professional right there. I see you. You trying to take credit for the best Afro?
Oh, no. Just because I don't consider all players that are currently being featured in our tournaments as professional players, and there are some people who would go even who haven't faced off against Confrey, and thus it would be unfair of me to give him the best title of Afro overall, considering we haven't seen those teams face off.
That's a good point.
But if anyone were to be considered the best, I definitely would probably give that one to Confrey.
Afro gets taken out. Bakkas ban. Bakkas recently, he got a pretty big buff. The belch is big, but the biggest thing about him is that his knockup.
I was going to say the chug is now viable.
Oh, well, the chug, for sure. But when you look at him in a team fight, I was saying, like, you know, that knockup is...
Oh, and belly flop has always been the reason to play him, right? Belly flop, intoxicate, one of the strongest combos in the game and one of the easiest to hit as well. Rama does get locked in here for Titan. Final pick likely going to be a solo laner. Hunbot's most likely going into the jungle. Ooh. Yes, it will be Bakasura, and that's going to be for Confrey.
That's interesting.
We'll probably see a warrior here as a result of that.
That's a very interesting pick for Titan, because Confrey isn't known to aggress throughout the entire match. He's more of a, hey, I'm Chuck, I've just healed up a bunch, I did some harass, but now I'm here, right? He's not, okay, level 5, I built Heavy Hammer, I'm going in no matter what.
That's true.
So if his playstyle has evolved to that, that's awesome.
Yeah, this is maybe not outside of his comfort zone, but Confrey is definitely going to have to alter his playstyle, which is usually very defensive, very campy. Likes to be in the team fight as a support role, as opposed to, hey, I'm going to spit on the floor and kill all your friends.
He doesn't spit.
Speaking of which, how was your weekend?
It's great. It's fantastic.
Tyr going to be locked in against Bakasura. We saw this matchup yesterday go very, very well for Fnatic. And with that, I think that we're going to see pretty much more of the same here. Upcoming stars, though, have a pretty uphill battle to fight as they go against top-seeded Europe's finest here in Titan.
Now, DM, taking a look at this, everyone knows the teams already. We've kind of gotten familiar with them. The short bows start coming out on Bakasura. Is it the right move going up against a Tyr?
Well, I guess it depends, right? I mean, he chose against Heavy Hammer, which is smart because early game you don't really want to box Tyr. And then he's also going to have the option of no hand here, giving him this sprint beads scenario later on. And with that, short bow can be finished very, very quickly into Iqbal, which is going to ensure that against Tyr, he's going to lose a lot of what makes him very strong now. Looking at Tyr here, there's a few things to remember. Yesterday, most notably, we saw, I think it was Maniac, decide he was going to go Fearless 3 times before he starts leveling the power cleave inherently, you know, past level 1, which gives him a little bit more clear potential, and then by the time he's really taking enough damage, he's going to start pumping into that power cleave to heal up. Over here on the duo lane, major kill potential on both sides. Level 5, though, I would definitely give to Kanye Life and Ataraxia, because the combo between Nature's Wrath, of course, and Astral Barrage is going to be enough to kill pretty much anybody. Yeah.
Now, the big story here, DM, is really the tale of 3 minutes. right? So mid Harpy's coming up at 3 minutes. Obviously, Titan has a much better level 5 with just Agni alone, right? So there's going to be a lot of pressure on Scylla. How do they win that battle?
It's going to come down to Cherio. I mean, if he can find the big freeze, it should do enough to Pretty Prime's positioning to stop him outright. And if in the mid lane, eFrosty keeps playing like that, it'll do well. Right there, he stepped into the creeps in the mid lane to take the fire, to turn the archers immediately over. That's what we're looking for, and what he's going to have to do, those big bait plays onto Agni, because realistically, it's the only way to really take him down.
Yeah, well, Bastet going with that sub-minute rotation here, very, very fast. She's going to leech on some experience here with Scylla. Tags him up, pushes him back just a bit. I'm not sure if Agni will lose much here, maybe a creep or two, but we're starting to see so many fast rotations coming out of the solo lane now.
Yeah, it's been very quick lately. Most notably for me, North American players have been a little bit faster, trying to just get things done, split a little bit less experience from the solo. And in this case, I think this is going to be a big win for Tyr. Aphrodite, I was thinking Comfrey with Aphrodite. When we look at Bakasura, this is a character that needs a lot of experience and a lot of gold to be relevant, which is why if he gets shut down, it can be such a huge negative. And right there, Comfrey, level 3 right now, comparatively to Sausage, who's hitting level 4, using the Hand of the Gods to clear the wave. This is going to really hurt Comfrey in the early game, but with this build, we should note that they're not really looking for early kills. Comfrey is looking just to sustain in this lane long enough to ensure that he can continue fighting after the Ickfall's done.
Power cleave and fearless. When you get juggled, it's so debilitating. You don't realize, you never respect Tyr until you actually get caught in this combo early on, and then you go, wow, okay, yeah, you hurt.
Yeah, and then you build Magi's and go, all right, no more respect.
Yeah. Magi's, that is the worst part about Tyr, when someone builds a Magi's. But taking a look at the duo lane here, we have Rama and Sylvanus, a.k.a. Ataraxia and Kanye Life. Kanye Life, one of the more interesting professional names we got out there.
Going for Sylvanus here, definitely not a god that's outside of his wheelhouse, but definitely something that we don't see as much. Generally favors Athena, Ymir, and Ares. So for him to try to go in a different direction here, I think, is a big statement to, I think, every other support player. Like, hey, I'm putting the work in this season. You're not going to catch me off guard this time.
Yep. So they have that wave shoved up, which is going to be very important. Notice on the mini-map how you'll see Sylvanus start rotating right now directly to the mid-Harpies. The pings come down. They want to secure the first batch, and upcoming stars is just going to take their respected side as well. So Titan not looking to aggress with this team comp, and they're just going to go for the guaranteed secure.
Wow, Sozage rotates over. Now, with Comfrey here, he's not going to gain as much experience outright, but he will be able to clear the wave a little more safely. Clearing against Tyr's Baka, generally considered not an easy feat, and with that, he'll be a few creeps behind here. You can see Comfrey has just hit level 6 comparatively to Sausage, who's going to be about 4 creeps in.
Yeah. So Sausage tried to be annoying and backed him, but he ends up catching a couple Butcher Blades in the face. Taking a look at the mid lane, Repicos and Pretty Prime leeching the experience here. They'll probably go together. Actually, they might split the back camp. Red buff's going to be up in about 20 seconds, so that's the next main focus for Agni here is get him the buff, let him do all the damage.
And what I love about this is they're going to take the right camp, they're going to head back to lane, push a wave, right? And then red and back camps are going to be coming up at almost the same time on left to ensure that there's going to be a really strong rotation here for the mid laner Pretty Prime.
So when I'm looking at this, right, when Ymir, okay, normally we see him get involved very early on. Is he looking to aggress at this second Harpy rotation, even though they have the disadvantage?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, generally speaking, Scylla, of course, is going to do a lot of damage, but so far it seems like the rotations have maybe not been a little slow, but they've definitely not been attacking at the same time. For instance, when we saw Ymir get aggressive onto Kanye Life before, you saw hi-rez was really not ready to follow up, whereas Ataraxia was just blaring damage back in, and what should have been maybe not first blood, but a great advantage there for the side of red. Cherio just didn't have enough health left afterwards to really contest Kanye Life, who's going to be able to heal up. So as we get back towards the mid camps, if they continue to play so segregated, it's going to be very, very hard for them to contend against Titan, who arguably has the best teamwork in the world.
Now, the one thing I absolutely loved is the fact that Scylla went with Bastet to secure the speed buff, and then she's working with Ymir, which allowed Bastet to kind of run around and get some extra experience by herself. So Scylla securing the speed buff. Everyone knows the 4-minute speed buff you have to control, or else your jungler is naturally going to be just way behind.
I didn't see the reason for Ymir to hang out, however, and take experience there. But the issue is that Kanye Light is maybe not significantly, but definitely is a small advantage over Cherio right now, which is going to be very difficult for Ymir to deal with. Ymir, generally not seen as an early game god, but it's definitely where he functions the best. Similarly to Sylvanus, except Sylvanus has a giant AoE knockup as opposed to a Blink Freeze. I mean,
well, speaking of Blink Freeze, he doesn't even have Blink yet, which is the hardest part about him. He gets pulled, Kanye Life hits the ultimate, Astro Arrow is going to hit. I don't know if they have kill potential at all. I think they kind of, just Repicos was just a little bit late to the party. I think that was a call out of, all right, yeah, I'll be there in a second, and a second is actually 4 minutes, right?
Don't look at the map, yeah.
Yeah.
There was really no follow-up potential there whatsoever. Ataraxia not going to be able to find anything, but he does go up here.
Nice.
This time, a lot of potential. Ymir ult probably not the best option when Rama is trying to aim a very difficult shot. That does a lot of damage, and with that, First Blood will go to Titan.
Not over yet. Overhand smash is going to deter some. He runs right into hi-rez. Frosty able to get a big one with I Am a Monster. There's no CC potentially. He's going to have to really try. He's not even going to get it off to do any damage, but they answer the score here. It is now 1-1. Taking a look over here, Sausage and Comfrey. Sausage is just chasing down Baka. Baka just wants to get in here, eat a minion, add to those stacks for Regurgitate, and Comfrey on Baka, it's exactly what we kind of expected.
You know, I actually, we over there in the left lane, Ataraxia actually almost wound up getting hit by I'm a Monster. If you saw him just throw an auto attack out in the jungle, you might have been wondering what he was doing. He was actually trying to use his 3 there, but he was 3 mana away.
Yep, Xbox One alpha code. If you guys are professional Smite players, or if you like the professional scene and you get on the Xbox One alpha, it's Season 1. So play your Hercules, get your chin size, you'll love it.
Not together.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying in general, like you can buy.
Together.
No. Come on.
Well, no. Have you ever seen Hercules? You just build Hercules as if he was Mercury.
No way.
You just build crit and chin size, and you just.
How is it?
It's awful, but it's fun.
I'll just build meditate level 3 on it, call it a day, pack the bags.
Ooh, meditation's back. Hey.
Is it?
Well, I mean, season 1.
Yeah, exactly, right? You have a thing. So now pushing down, they'll be able to do a decent amount of damage right to this Tier 1 tower. I don't know if they even really want to take it. We don't really see that favor much.
Right there, though, I mean, I love the way that the Bastet's playing it because there's no jungle camps for him to do right now except all the way across the map, which might not be a great use of his time. Instead, he decides, hey, I'm going to be able to push some damage into this tower and then start my rotation. He's going to have about 30 seconds or so, maybe a little bit more, or a little bit less, rather, before that speed buff comes up, so he's going to look to split some experience beforehand.
Now, Doom Orb's finished for both mid laners as well. We can see Pretty Prime winning that battle a little bit. The stun comes out and fails. He's going to be deterred from this completely.
Did you happen to see what
Lawbringer gets brought out as well. We might see another kill. Comfrey can't follow it up, though.
Pretty Prime knows that there's a ward on top of that sentry, or knew that his sentry would be spotted by a sentry ward. So he just places it down, waits for a second till someone to rotate, and then just throws 3 bombs right at him. He knows that he wants to take it. It was 50 gold for half a health bar, and you got to yell worth on that one.
Yeah. Repicos is here. Blink comes in. The initiation. Kanye Life going for it. Repicos, fear no evil. Overhand smash secures the kill. Rama to the sky. He's hit 1 snipe. He spots a player coming in. He's got the roll. He doesn't have the mana for it, though. No, Repicos now has to have the peel. Overhand smash. He's got the RNG. He hit the crit. They're on Ymir. Another overhand smash. Barely missing. Repicos takes him out. Ataraxia still alive. Finally, down he goes. Repicos gets another kill.
That's a really big win there. Trading out just the Hunter for 3 is massive, especially at this stage of the game. Ataraxia not going to find any kills there, but still going to have a 200 gold advantage over Xbalanque. With that, take a look at Repicos. 600 gold now over Bastet. And when you're thinking about Humbots versus Bastet, realistically, Bastet should have a very early lead, and it has not been the case. Everyone has shut down every attempt she has made so far.
Sausage might be in trouble here. There's no CC to follow it up, though. But it looks like they will be able to secure the mid-Harpies. Now, this is exactly what we talked about going into the match, was mid-Harpy control is going to favor Titan. Upcoming stars, they have a tough battle ahead of them, DM.
What I would like to see here is a little bit more play from Repikas and Fails just by camping the mid lane. Both mids have opted into Doom Orb, which means their sustain is not going to be very strong. They should be looking to try to burst that down as much as possible. With that, Scylla does have beads 1, Agni does have beads 1, so both will have at least a little bit of potential for escape. But at the same time, getting away from those cats is extremely difficult.
That's the one thing that's annoying about Bastet, which is also really good to see at a competitive level, because at some point you're able to play with the cats the way you think, where you hit your 2 on them, you have the open wound out there, and you throw the cats and they kill them for you. But after about 25 minutes, you really can't do that anymore. No, the cats aren't there for anymore. Cats
have become a much more objective-based utility item, sending the cats to tank the Gold Fury or Fire Giant, sending them into a tower to reduce backdoor protections when you don't have minions. That's generally what you'll see. But for Bastet to get to that point, she generally has to utilize her extremely powerful early game to make sure that she has an advantage. And that is not something that we've seen Failures do so far. It's been pretty much the Repikas show. 4-0-0. He's got Jotuns online. He's going to be swinging very hard. Although I can say I'm very interested to see where Repikas will be going next with his build, whether it be Shifter Shield or Transcendence or right into the Deathbringer.
I hope it's right into the Deathbringer. My favorite thing about Batz is you get Deathbringer, and then all of a sudden RNG starts hurting even more.
Yeah, 1/3 turns into a half, right?
Yeah, 1/3 turns into half, and then it's just bigger plays. Kanye Life looking, he's got the eyeballs on him. He's waiting for the blink initiation, and here he goes. In comes one. Frosty in a lot of trouble. Frosty's going to get erased right away. Cheerio's going to be deterred. Kanye Life still chasing a little bit, but he's really just trying to zone them. This might result in a Gold Fury if they're not careful. Upcoming Stars have to play very passive here.
The two biggest weaknesses of Beads 1 is the fact that the cooldown is very long and the CC immunity doesn't last for very long, right? So with that, she uses a little bit early, before she hits the ground, in fact, coming off of Wrath of Terra. By the time the CC ends, or the immunity ends, she hits the ground directly into Fear No Evil, and Repikas is there to clean it up, bringing himself up now to 5-0-0, and they need to get the beats out.
Repikas, he didn't throw it out there. I thought he was going to be able to take out Cheerio. They forced Ymir back, which is huge. They won't have much contention at all on the Gold Fury. Upcoming Stars really can't battle this.
No, the upcoming Stars have to let this go. Sausage going to go in, though, but this is pretty much... They might trade a 1-for-1 here, but they're still going to wind up losing. Oh, wait. Whoa, they stole the Gold Fury?
Wow.
How?
That's huge. Who even did it?
Kanye Life a little bit.
Oh, my God. That is... I did not see that coming, do you?
you know, I've talked about this before. If this was baseball, that would not be a hit. That would have been an error right there. I mean, realistically, there was no reason for them to drop the Gold Fury or the Death there, and they wound up dropping both. Confrey and it looks like Kanye Life have been picked off, as opposed to the fact that they also lost the Gold Fury. And with that, let's take a look at the charts. The gold difference is now in favor of Upcoming Stars, and the experience has been very close to normalized at about 500. That is a very big win for US.
I think Bastet took that with level 2 hand. I'm almost positive. I mean, it's on cooldown. It's the only thing that would sync up with that evenly. That's level 2 hand.
I think it's been more than 20 seconds, though. I think it looked to me like it was a Xbalanque auto attack.
That's huge.
Hard to say, though. Wasn't keeping my eye on it because I really expected Kanye to go
Same, yeah.
Absolutely. He wasn't in position. Generally, when you're doing the Gold Fury and you want to bait the fight, you'll have someone go in front of the Gold Fury, like kind of towards their side of the map to block them in. And that's kind of where I expected Kanye to go, but he kind of backed off, kind of leaving Ataraxia to his own devices, and it didn't work out.
So if anyone was curious as to what Repikas is going to be building after Jotuns that will be a Transcendence. Trying to get a little
serious amount of damage.
Yeah, serious amount of damage, a little extra mana as well. Oh, Confrey, will he be able to do this? He jumps away. He doesn't want to chase the fight. Sausage able to get him with the Archer's help.
Oh, wow. I agreed with Confrey's jump there because, for all intents and purposes, Sausage should have just ulted in place, right? I mean, that was the call, and Confrey counterplayed it, but the issue is that the Archers weren't having it. They wind up picking the kill, and Upcoming Stars take the lead entirely.
Pretty Prime rotated. Fortunately for him, he's not going to miss out on any creeps, as he will be able to clear that very easily. Repikas does have to be careful, though, as Fails will be rotating here. He's 6-0, but that's not enough to handle both of these guys. Fear No Evil comes out. Now overhand smash. Fails is going to go for this. He's going to jump in. The pounce, able to secure that kill. That's a big one.
That is what we need to see from Bastet. Be aggressive. tons of aggression must have come out in the early game. That's what you use her for. Whereas, you know, Humbots, you want to be a little bit more careful using your ult. Oh, wow, look at how much damage Sausage is taking. He'll be able to get away here, but they at least make themselves known. Issue, Comfrey's going to have to now sit in the mid lane. It's going to put him in an awkward spot if Pretty Prime doesn't back correctly here, but it looks like everyone on the team is going back to their correct roles on time, so it shouldn't be too badly. Now, take a look at Comfrey's build. You can see that the charge bow has been taken as well as Iqbal, so we're going to see Oboe pretty soon. Hard to say if it's a little early because it's Bakasura, and charge bow gives you a lot of attack speed. Early game, Bakasura, or even mid game, Bakasura is relying a lot on the Butcher's Blade's true damage activation, and things like charge bow are going to give him a ridiculous amount of scaling to Butcher's Blades. With that, Oboe, another 20% attack speed, but the way that the charge works is it doesn't just do the normal damage like how charge bow does 20. I'm pretty sure it's 30 plus 50% of the scaling. Don't hold me to that. And Comfrey doesn't have a lot of damage on the board right now. You'll look at 40 from Boots, you'll look at 15 from Death's Toll, and a possible 30 from Iqbal if stacked up.
You know, when I look at this build, I think Xaylia. That 2v1 he had in, what was it, week 1 of the SPL was just nuts. And it was this build. He ate people alive. Comfrey now looking at it, and Sausage, he's going to have no problem in this lane really just staying healthy. That's what Tyr does. He sustains better than, well, everyone besides like Ra.
Wow, right side mid camps immediately go to Upcoming Stars with beautiful use of Hand of the Gods there. Kanye Life gonna find 2, but the Cats, immediately coming out. Fear no evil, beautiful play there. Kanye Life, 1 tick from death, is starting to keep up with the Wisps, and beautiful play coming out on the stun off the bomb from Pretty Prime. Blink from Kanye keeps him alive. But that, to me, another win from Upcoming Stars, because at worst, they're gonna send them back to the base, and they have an opportunity to free farm. And Kanye just got back.
Yeah, that's huge. Gold Fury getting ready to come up here. It'll be up in 36 seconds and counting. Comfrey was able to take the Tier 1 tower. Was it worth? No. The experience you gain from kills are much bigger, but at least he's able to have that pressure, which will allow him to rotate a little bit more. And that's really what we're seeing out of solo lane as this season's kind of going on, is that it's a little bit of a solo lane. Now it's more about those early rotations over to the Gold Fury.
So when you're behind, I generally don't love the idea of Hide of the Urchin, but in this game, Sausage gambled with it. Already has 4 stacks on the Hide of the Urchin with 6 kills on the board. That's a really good ratio, especially for this stage in the game. And with that, he's going to be very, very difficult to take down. Jotun's Wrath going to be coming up here in just a second. He needs about 50 more gold, so it was very surprising to me to see him back. Oh, but he looks like he sold something off there to make sure, probably a potion.
Well, Ataraxia throws down a Sentry Ward, clears up the vision. They might be looking to engage on this, but really the big thing is they're just looking to pressure. They want 1 pick. Their eye is completely set on the Gold Fury. They just want to get 1 pick so they can have the man advantage, the power play, if you will, going into the Gold Fury. Cheerio has no problem. My main question here, DM, is when does Rama come online in Season 2?
You know, I guess it's hard to say.
Yeah.
He's generally going to be pretty equal to Xbalanque in the endgame thanks to his ultimate. Speaking of ultimates, oh, that caught the dash as well. Oh, this could be trouble here for hi-rez, but no one seems to aggress on him. Cherio's ultimate was more than enough to push them back there, and with that, 4 members of Titan will be pushed onto their heels with the rotation coming out from Frosty.
Yep, one-on-one over here. Sausage, down he goes. That's a big win. That might result in a Tier 2. Obviously, Comfrey's going to keep pushing. You can see Sausage has a 45-second death penalty. In comes Bastet. She hits the jump. The bleed down. Overhand smash is there. The stun will come from Pretty Prime. Beads forced out from Ataraxia. And now the good dodge coming out from Ataraxia as well, which will keep him out of harm's way. Meanwhile, throughout this, they are pushing through on the Tier 2 in the solo lane. This is a good play for Titan.
Comfrey moving forward here. He's finally getting into the point where he can fight this Tier 2. With that attack speed, this should not last for too much longer, especially considering he just cleared that wave up, so 30% extra attack speed as well.
The stun came out on Scylla, forcing her completely out of it. They're now on the Gold Fury. I don't see any way that Upcoming Stars can take this one, but we do have a quick little timeout.
That's right. We do have a timeout coming out from Upcoming Stars. It looks like Frosty just needs to reset real quick. This just in from production as well. The European Challenger Cup still underway, and I think, unsurprisingly, Panthera will find themselves in finals up against, I think it was Spicy Waffles. Spicy Waffles, the best team name of all time. I've always wondered what a spicy waffle would taste like once they formed that. I wouldn't Google it. I wouldn't either. Yeah, absolutely.
Bastet forced to jump out. She's going to get stunned. Rama takes to the sky. He's got one.
Got her.
Looking for some extra damage there. Goes on the easier target on hi-rez. He's on her. He's looking for it. Fear no evil there as well. Ataraxia hits the steroid, and now he's going to get out of here.
Upcoming stars decided to press their
Wait,
luck.
wait, regurgitate! Oh, there's one, look at him shred! He's got a second one! Godfrey just annihilates!
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Bakasura in all situations, but the way the Comfrey just played that's the reason you pick the god. It's you get ahead early, you get level 19 while their mid is still 17, you rotate over when they're not paying attention, drop a puddle on the ground, and just pick up some double kills, right? And with that, Comfrey 3-2-1 right now is going to move himself up to top farm in the game. Bakasura level 19 right now, just hitting level 20 off that final push. This, to me, this is time for Fire Giant. Make them spread to the left side, get the duo lane out of position, and go for it.
Well, he was able to take down the tier 2 as well. Odysseus Bow online. Executioner now online.
He had 2,900 on that pack.
That's the best feeling, man. I get excited. I almost knocked down a light, but I get excited when I see like 2,900 gold in hand. It's like, wow.
I've done full Executioner and finish my sprints.
I've done everything right. That's what that feels like.
And he still had a lot of health left.
Oh yeah.
That was a perfect life for him right there.
Is that a Heartseeker? Did he go double stacking Ataraxia?
That's my man. That's my man.
The Heartseeker.
Look at this build. Double stacking Heartseeker and Dev's Gloves with Fatalis and Executioner. Now, don't forget, Rama also has a really important steroid. As opposed to here, it looks like to Xbalanque, not going to have a lot of damage right there. Clean up right there as Cherio falls once again. I would be very surprised to see them not go for FG right now.
I want everyone to kind of keep their eye on Ataraxia in these fights, see how this Fatalis works. It's not something we often see at a professional level on Hunters.
The PBAT build is, if he builds Heavy Hammer, man, it's the PBAT build. Look at the movement. That's the best part about it. Now, this Fatalis on Rama is going to do a lot of things right, especially considering that with Astral Strike, he's going to be able to widen the overall width of the normal auto attacks, which is a very big deal. So he's faster, and he has bigger attacks.
Yep. Sausage was able to get taken out yet again. Unable to make it out of the lane to help his team. Eyes on Comfrey. He's going for the pincher. And then Scylla was able to spot him out. He might just jump directly over this, but what he's doing right now is stealing the jungle to really just keep Titan ahead as best he can, and fails. Doesn't get the wound on him. He goes, whatever, I'll back.
Not baiting FG, it seems. Titan looking to take this one in their usual campy, slow, and calculated perspective, and they're doing well with it so far. Obviously a pretty decent lead here, about 4,300 gold, almost 8,000 experience as well, but a lot of that might be taken away at this point, as Comfrey has been level 20 for quite some time.
Yeah. Sausage has had a tough time this game. He did okay in the early laning phase. You can see the stacks, but in the one-on-ones, he's just been getting eaten up by Baka, which he's going to have to really just kind of use this lane to farm up and get back into the game. He's still doing fine. I mean, he's got Jotun Spirit Robes next, which is going to help him out, but the big story here is Repicos.
Wow.
In comes the Fear No Evil as well. Look at the health bars just get shredded. Cheerio, that's their tank. I'm a Monster comes up, does half health onto Comfrey. Will Ataraxia do it? Waiting for it. Threads the needle.
With that, though, there was still a great amount of pressure there. Even without kills, it's going to send a lot of upcoming stars back, which gives free roam of the map here to Titan. And I love the communication there. I don't know if you guys managed to see it, but we see Hunbots throw down the satellite, right? The monkey toss. Yeah. And then right as it connects, you can just almost hear him yelling, go, 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 because right as he has the ability to go in, Kanye's already in there.
Well, Fire Giant's been started up. Comfrey forced out. hi-rez in a lot of trouble. He's going to get jumped on here. Down he goes. Repicos getting another kill. Looking for a double in this one. Is able to get it. And now Cheerio trying to throw the jukes on, but there's too many members of Titan to deal with it.
Well, Repicos getting taken down there by Frosty and Sausage on the combination. Ataraxia has no fear here. The lifesteal more than keeping him up. He can use this as a body block all he wants. It's still going to be a negative. I would like to see him pick it up, and he does. Sausage going to get a combo off here, but if Frosty doesn't have a follow-up before he goes down, this will be a clean double and possibly a Fire Giant once again for Titan.
So I was, the entire time that I threw it to you to cast, I was watching Ataraxia's movement with the Fatalis. That is some strong kiting and a lot of damage you can get with that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Speaking of kiting, this is a perfect Fire Giant. Watch this. He's going to back out and switch it so that way the mud doesn't affect him too much. He takes 1 tick from the mud, which is usual. Perfect. Titan has been flawless on this route.
And now Ataraxia forced to zone out here. Fails, jumps in. There's going to be 1 bomb. Titan able to secure the Fire Giant. Down goes Bastet. They'll probably push the mid lane, maybe grab a buff or 2, but they're going to go back by and then have one last final assault.
With that, Hand of the Gods did go off by Bastet, but she was a little bit too slow on the draw. That one's going to go to Titan. Everyone adorned with the Fire Giant except for Repicos, who was 2 seconds away on the respawn. Poor guy.
Yep. All right, DM. So, 25 minutes into the game, you find yourself at this deficit. You have 4 minutes of time to waste of the Fire Giant being gone. How does Upcoming Stars do this?
Realistically, with this team comp that Titan has drafted, it's not in their field. It's not what can we do. It's what can we hope that Titan messes up. Realistically, we're looking for Kanye to kind of botch the initiation, or for Repicos to miss multiple shots on the satellite as he's trying to get in. Or actually, no, he is not the normal Space Monkey that we're used to. He is normal. He's almost normal bots.
Who doesn't run Space Monkey?
Well, this is the Goku build. I like it. I just watched Dragon Ball.
Dude, you and these anime references, you gotta take it down.
That's Goku, dude.
Stop it.
What do you?
Come on.
It's Goku. It's his outfit.
Dude, come on.
Where's Kelly?
No one, like 5 people watch anime.
Left side getting pressured once again. 3 people from Titan here running right in as you see Comfrey walking over a ward himself to join the fight. Ataraxia in the backline as well. It looks like they're content to wait for the team to group up. We will have a 5v5 here with advantage to Titan, not only for gold, experience, and Fire Giant, but sustainability as well, thanks to the Wisps.
Yeah. The big thing right here that Upcoming Stars is doing is really just delaying this assault. Overhand smash comes in. They're trying to whittle them down. Really, a lot of focus on Kanye Life here to try to get a pull on anyone. Comfrey's going to split off, which is going to force one member of Upcoming Stars to rotate and kind of deal with him as well. So this is a really good play coming out of Comfrey.
Now Comfrey's trying to bait the fact that he's walking over. In fact, he's just going to go for the small camps. He could jump over the wall here. Yeah, here comes the big swing. Frosty will do some damage there, but Comfrey did his job. He picked somebody up and then did a lot of damage. Cherio also going to fall there on the front line. And this is looking pretty grim.
Yep, Ataraxia focuses the tower. He's on Sausage now. 225, 312, 298. Another big crit out of him. Fails now, will be taken out. Ataraxia takes to the sky. He's looking. He's just doing the 360 no scope.
That should be GG at this point. They have a long time here to clean this up. And with Cherio coming up in 20, even with that Ymir stepping in, I don't think they're going to have the level of pressure necessary to stop this push. If one thing we know Titan is good at, it's they're ready to end games.
Dude, that... At the beginning, Upcoming Stars, throughout the entire laning phase, they looked like they were going toe-to-toe with Titan very, very well. But as it went on, the mid-Harpy control, which was really what Titan drafted on, seemed to be too much for Upcoming Stars.
Titan going to take the first game pretty cleanly. They had a little bit of a botch in the middle there with the Gold Fury fight. But aside from that, absolute domination, as should be expected from second place at the World Championships, the runner-up. Titan looking very, very strong.
How'd you feel about the Fatales on Ataraxia?
Ataraxia has always been known to do the kind of janky builds, right? And when it comes down to Hunter builds, you should always consider the fact that, yes, something will always be stronger, but this is a PvP game, not a PvE game. In World of Warcraft or any other MOBA, when you're doing a raid boss, there will be something that's cookie cutter, there will be something that will do more damage, and you must use it or your guild won't do as well. Comparatively to in PvP, where you have a little bit more room, a little bit more wiggle room, right? And the Fatalis allows Ataraxia to play a more aggressive style, move a lot more quickly than his opponent. And when you're trying to box someone like Xbalanque, movement could mean the difference.
Yeah, well, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the first blood here in this game. It was actually a pretty exciting early game, through all things considered here. In just a second.
That's how fast First Blood went down.
You see that right there? That is what you call perfect execution.
That's why they're the runner-up at the World Championships.
Exactly. Anyways, guys, we're going to take a look at the jungle camp here and see how much control Titan had throughout that entire game. No shocker at all.
Yeah, look at this. Their jungle camp's pristine. Half on one mid camp there. You can see the other one were completely controlled. Full fire giant control, most of the gold furies, and then even a little bit in the enemy jungle as well, as you see one back camp, and a big speed steal, which was the one that we saw from Ataraxia.
I look at it like this. Upcoming Stars, they had one really, really good gold fury steal at the beginning, that first fight. But when you look at just the notch right above that where it says mid, that's mid Harpies. 63% went to Titan.
Yeah.
With the amount of experience that gives a team, you have to control it. That's why we're seeing gods such as Agni and Sylvanus and everyone who's really strong at level 5 start to shine in this current season.
Beautiful run all around there from Titan. They're going to go into game 2 here with advantage, knowing that not only are we, the stronger team, right? But now we have the advantage. They have to play to us. We can set the pace more. With that game, unsurprisingly, player of the game going to Repicas. I mean, he started the game off like 5-0-0. He was untouchable. Yeah,
he was fantastic. Hunbots in the jungle is probably one of my favorites to watch, but, you could almost even argue that it could have been Sylvanus with those blinks. But look at the placement of the Fear No Evils are just brilliant throughout this entire game, T.
What's a shame is the replay usually highlights kills and big plays, and unfortunately, we're probably not going to see the one where he sets up the Kanye blink, because there was no actual casualties that happened. They wind up getting fire giant pressure, but, I mean, even when Repicas isn't getting kills, that's what I'm saying, like, he just destroys. His placement of Fear No Evil was, bar none, I think the best we've seen, and that might even include Gars.
Really? You're going that far.
The way that he pushed his opponents, it looks like he would draw something on the maps. Like, I want you to go this way, you to go this way, you to go this way, now go. And it would happen every single time.
If there is a team who's going to do that, that's Titan. We've seen how they've prepped. We've seen everything else. They're no slouches at all. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us for game number 1. After 5 minutes, we'll be back with game number 2. Stay tuned.